I'm going live. So guys, I'm looking here on my computer screen and you guys here on hey guys, what's up? It is Revi Goldwasser and we are going live today in the Fearless Woman Tribe. I am live on Instagram. I am live in YouTube. I am live in my page and my tribe. How cool is that? So first of all, if you're a woman, not in my tribe, in my Facebook tribe, but you're watching on Instagram or YouTube, please, if you're a woman going through divorce, in the middle of divorce, or you are divorced and you're still coping and recovering and rebuilding, definitely, hit me up. Basically, I have an amazing, as you guys know that are watching it, we have a beautiful, intimate Facebook tribe with around 800 women growing every day. I'm on TikTok. I don't even know, I think 60,000 followers already. We are fearless women in the house, basically recovering and rebuilding and releasing the fearless woman we were born to be, and ultimately finding true love, right? And it all comes down to worth, right? Everything comes down to worth. So I am trying to go live now on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern and Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern. So mark your calendars for that. But let's right away start talking about my favorite subject in the house, which is worth. Okay, guys, the biggest problem, I'm not even going to call it a problem, I'm going to call it an epidemic. There's an epidemic with women. This is not just for women who are going through a divorce or breakup. The macro of it is that it's for many, many women. Bottom line, women seek validation of their worth from a man. Hello, honey. Hi, guys. By the way, in my Facebook tribe, I'm using StreamYard, so I can't see your names. But I will follow up and answer all comments when I go back into the tribe too. But I can see the comments. I just don't see your names because StreamYard does protect your privacy, so that won't be available. So the macro problem that women have, and probably also young women, high school girls, college girls, is worth. And the thing with a woman is we're not men. Okay, we're not men. I think it was last week we talked about the male archetype and the female archetype. The female archetype is 7 elements. A woman is a queen, a woman is a mother, a woman is a maiden, a woman is mystic, a woman is a wisdom woman, a woman is a huntress, and a woman is a maiden. A maiden means that, we're innocent and naive in our own ways, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what makes us maternal. That's what makes us a woman. So understanding that, what happens is many of us, unfortunately, have dysfunction when we're little. So we have trauma and we have dysfunction, no fault, no blame to our parents, to that situation. It's nobody's fault. But what happens when we as little girls have dysfunction and have trauma and have situations that mom and dad, for whatever reason, couldn't show up in ways, and sometimes it's legitimate. Like, for me, my mom had a terrible car accident. Like, she was missing for 2 days when I was little. And then she ended up staying 3 months in the hospital. And then it was really bad. So, dysfunction doesn't necessarily mean, alcohol, drugs, physical abuse. It could be that mom has to work 4 jobs because she's a single mom and she's not around a lot. So when parents aren't around, what happens, we as children, we have to grow up very quickly. We end up growing up and not really having the most important opportunity is just to be free, to be just a kid that is just interested in what's for dinner. Is it mac and cheese or is it chicken wings? And, when am I going to see my buddy get to go play baseball? So that's what starts happening. So we as small children, we grow up in these environments that unfortunately needs are not met. And I'm a big believer and big follower of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. To me, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is basically what it's all about. It's about safety, it's about security, it's about survival needs, it's about community, self-esteem, individual, and ultimately self-manifestation, right? So self-manifestation is the tip of the pyramid. Now, what happens with women who go through a divorce or breakup is that because we have such lack, because we are unable to fulfill our own needs for various lack issues, what we do, oops, sorry guys, there's a hair on my face. What we do instead is we latch onto a man to fulfill our needs. And if you're pretty good, like if you're like pretty secure and confident and all that, that usually just works. I mean, 50% of marriages do stay married. Although I have an opinion that 50% get a divorce, 50 out of the 50% that stay married, it is my opinion that a quarter of those should not be married. A quarter of those should be divorced, but for reasons of limiting beliefs and fears that are, in my opinion, not true, or just money issues. And again, I don't agree with that. When a woman tells me, oh, well, Revi, you made money, that's why it was easy for you to get a divorce. Like, you know, I want to go for her jugular when she says that to me. First of all, you don't get to patronize me like that. That's unacceptable. Second of all, that's just not true. That's not true. You know, when a woman comes up to another woman and says, oh, well, you work and I've been at stay-at-home for 15 years, I have no money and you do, that's a bunch of BS, because that's not the reason why women don't get a divorce, or why when they do finally go through with it, it's so scary. Because the reason a woman finally decides to leave a husband, or that breakup happens, is ultimately because the reason why a lot of women can't do it is not about the money. It's because they have fear. See, I promise those women that don't have money, I bet if I gave them $1 million, they still wouldn't do it. So I just did a really cool article on Instagram today that I posted on Facebook, and I'll put it on my blog. It's called Repurposing Content. But it's not the money that makes the reason for you not to want to leave your husband, or be when you're in a dysfunctional relationship. It's never about the money. That's an excuse. That's BS. That's just not true. And the reason I can clearly tell you that is because I made money. Why is it that I made very good money, yet I was so afraid to leave my husband? What was I truly afraid of? And I remember, like, towards the end of my marriage, I was married 20 years. I had to really come to terms with that. I had to really face this fear that was so paralyzing me. It was so controlling me. It was so holding me back, that I knew deep down I was so unhappy, right? But I couldn't do it. And yeah, there's a million reasons: my kids, the community, and my friends, my family, the embarrassment, the shame, letting down my parents. There's all this, what I call noise. That's called noise, right? Because what I was even then doing is I was seeking validation of my worth to what people would think of me, what people would say about me. And that's a big no-no, guys. When we are needy for validation, whether it's to be seen, to be heard, to be loved, to be protected, to feel needed, to feel secure, these are all Maslow's hierarchy of needs. When we seek that validation of worth on those levels with a man, when we're needy for those needs and we latch onto a man to do it, it never works. And the main reason, in my opinion, why a lot of women are unable to leave their husbands, and I hear all the time, I get so many messages, I've been for years and years wanting to leave, but I'm not doing it for the kids. For years and years and years, I've been so unhappy, we're fighting, he's cheated on me, blah, 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 but there's no money, I have no money. It's just not true. That is not the reason why a woman doesn't leave a man. The reason a woman doesn't leave a man is because she's afraid to be alone. That's it. When you're really, really honest with yourself, when you really, really, you know, put up the big girl pants, like I like to call it, and be a grown woman, a fearless woman, let's just get serious here. Let's just be a grown up. Because if you're gonna sit there and go, be a little girl, okay, then you're gonna get little girl problems. If you wanna be a grown woman and really create a life that you want, and if you're looking at your life and you're like, this is not me, I'm here to tell you that you clearly believe that this is what you deserve. Because when you have that wake-up call and you look around in your life, by the way, it's not just a marriage or relationship. It can be money, it can be business, it can be your friends. It can be so many things. I'm here to tell you that it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't even matter what you do. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what you believe. You see, to me, it's the belief systems that propel your life. It's your belief systems. It's not what you think. Like, you know, there's The Secret, right? And The Secret's like, think money, think success, think relationship, think love. And you're like, I'm always practicing The Secret, right? Like, I'm always practicing The Secret. I'm thinking. I don't care how much you think. It cannot manifest. Nothing that you think will manifest if you don't truly believe you deserve it. If you truly don't believe you can have that. If you truly don't believe you've earned it. If you truly don't believe that it's coming to you. And that belief system stems from issues from childhood. So what happens, at least this was my process, this was my awareness, this was my revelation, and we're working through this right now. I've launched my program. I call it the program. The program, you gotta work the program. So I just launched my first ever inaugural program. I think we're now in our 3rd week. We just hit the 3rd week. It's unbelievable what's happening, where I think we're around 8 women in total. And the immersion, the transformation, the revelation, the realization, the awareness of recognizing that your entire life, you've been a passenger. Your entire life, you've been a sheep. And the reason you've been the passenger and the sheep is because it's your belief systems that have led your life. It's not you. I don't care if you're like, let's go to McDonald's. Okay, you think you're going to McDonald's, you sit in the passenger seat and you got to McDonald's, but you're like, you don't even know how you got there. Like, you're just saying McDonald's, but you're not even conscious and aware of what is going on. And the reason is because it's your belief system that drives you. And what happens when you have dysfunction and you have trauma and you have chaos and you're unhappy in your life, that's because you truly believe that you deserve that. That's the truth. I remember when right before I left my husband, I'm like, I'm a good person. I'm a nice person. I'm kind. Everyone tells me how kind I am. Everyone tells me how generous I am. Everyone says how, I'm a great cook and a great mother and a great businesswoman. I make all this money. Yet my marriage was a disaster. I was emotionally exhausted. I was emotionally depleted. I was depressed. I was so sad, crying all the time, begging, pleading with my husband to change, to do something better, to give me peace, to give me freedom, to all that stuff. And it wasn't happening. And then I realized, wait a minute. I said to myself, if he is not going to change for me, then I must change for me. That was probably the first time in my life that I did something that was so scary. And you know what that was? It was latching on to me. For the first time, instead of latching on to him for everything, latch onto him for love, latch onto him for security, latch onto him for safety, latch onto him from how pretty I am, how sexy I am, how smart I am, how this and that, which was a lie. It was BS. It wasn't that way at all. And I kept running faster and faster and faster and doing more and more and more because it wasn't working. See, when you seek validation of your worth in any single element, in any which way, not just from a husband, but from friends, from family, from colleagues at work, from parents, the worst, but it's a visceral thing that we do as kids. I don't care if you're 55 years old, you're still going to seek validation of your parents. I'm here to tell you that it doesn't work. The sooner you put the brakes on being so needy, which is so repulsive. I mean, now I see it I can see it now miles away. I was that woman. I was so needy for love. I was so needy for love. Oh, it breaks my heart when I think about it. It breaks my heart. A woman shouldn't get to that place. A woman is a creator of life. And she should never, ever allow herself to get to that point of being starved for love. No, I live in America. I'm not starving for friggin' anything, especially not love, which is free. Love is free, and I'm starving for it. And I'm doing everything. I'm screaming and I'm yelling. I'm here. I'm here. Look at what I'm doing. Not enough. Okay, let me do more. Not enough. I'll do even more. It's not enough. See, when you have this lack, this deficiency for any of those needs, love, intimacy, affection, being noticed, being seen, being heard, money, safety, security, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like this is textbook stuff from high school and college. Okay? If you are starving, by the way, guys, I'm doing a live on Instagram and Facebook on StreamYard. Check out StreamYard. It's really, really cool. So I can't read all the comments. I'm sorry, but I'll do my best. So this was me. Right before I left my husband, I was like, please, I need love. like, you know that love is a universal language. And again, it's free. Love is a universal language, meaning they'll understand it in India, they'll understand it in China, they'll friggin' understand it in South Africa, they'll understand it in anywhere, Iceland, you know, Uganda, wherever. Everyone understands that. Hold on, guys. Sorry, when I talk, my mouth gets dry. And it doesn't cost $1, doesn't cost a penny. But the emotional need, the emotional necessity of love is absolutely the key root to everything. Hold on, let's read a couple of these amazing notes from my Facebook people. I finally see it now, but now I have to believe it. It's like I keep seeing it, but I don't believe it. So I must start believing it. Oh, yes, girlfriend. So what happens with a lot of women when we have this dysfunction in our relationships and then we finally do break free, we've never had an example of real love. We just haven't. All we've known is dysfunctional, toxic, unhealthy, certainly not the rule for love at all. And I remember, you know, it's funny you said that because I remember when I left my husband and I started dating, I just didn't believe it existed. Like, imagine the point of depletion that you're so dehydrated. You'll take a drop. I'll take a drop. Give me a drop. I'll take a drop of water and I'll be so happy. And therein lies the danger in dating right after a breakup. Because what happens when you're so dehydrated for love, and this is what happened to me, that the minute I started dating the day my husband moved out, I'm like, boom, I was on all the apps. And this is what I accepted from the dating world. I accepted drops. Like if a man gave me a drop, I was like, yes, I got noticed. And the men who give you the drops, and when you're so happy, like imagine the dysfunction that continues as a woman. Now I'm happier with a drop because I didn't even have the drop. I didn't even have drops, right? I didn't even have that in my marriage. So now I'll be like, drop, can live for a day. But unfortunately, when you start dating, when you leave your husband and you accept those drops, it's even worse. Then you're like, what is going on? Because those men, they're vultures. They're predatorial men. And trust me that they can sense a vulnerable woman from a mile away. They're the hyenas and the vultures. And when a woman is so starved for love, they're like, man, she's weak, she's perfect, I'm gonna go get her. And by the way, it took me like a month to figure that one out. And I'm like, that's it, I'm done. Like I right away said, it's me. It's me. And that's why, like, and listen, as grown women, date, get on the apps. I'm not saying not to, but be so aware that you're so you're so needy that you repel a good man. You repel. When you're needy, you have lack and you repel. You actually attract another person that's needy in his own ways. When you're secure, when you latch onto yourself, when you love yourself, discover yourself, you're intimate with yourself, guess what happens? You attract a man that is turned on by that. And I promise you, the line starts lining up because now you're not repelling. Now you're attracting. I know it's a total, like, I know. I went through this. I lived it. I used to be in a fetal position, gasping for air. I had such emotional pain from the lack of love. After you choose you, what do you do? How do you fill your own love bucket? How do you fill your own, what do you like doing? I got a question on Facebook. After you choose you, how do you fill your own love bucket? Well, what do you like to do? I bet you know what your ex-husband liked to do. When I start working with women in the program or I do some coaching, I don't do a lot of one-on-one coaching because I do my group coaching now. It amazes me how every single woman will know everything about her ex-husband or boyfriend. This and that and this and that. They'll just talk for 50 minutes and I'm like, stop. I do that a lot. In my group coaching, I'm like, stop. Because they don't even realize the verbal diarrhea. And all they're doing is talking about him. I'm like, what about you? And they're like, me? Good morning, beautiful. They're like, me? Yeah, you. What about you? So when you say to me, how do you fill your own love bucket? Talk about lack. The fact that you don't, by the way, my story too, don't mean to rule you out. I don't see your name, but I'm sure I'll comment to you when I go back into the tribe after this live is over. That was my story too. I didn't even know how to love myself. And that's the tragedy. I'm actually so upset about it. Like, just thinking about it, my throat hurts. Like, I'm upset. It's ridiculous. It's unacceptable. It's stopping right now. The fact that you don't even know how to fulfill your own love, how to fill your own bucket. Do you understand? You think COVID's the epidemic? You think COVID's the epidemic? COVID's a joke. It's a friggin' joke. Because at least with COVID, everyone knows about it. The problem with lack, the problem when a woman doesn't have worth, you don't even know it. And because you don't even know it, you stay in dysfunctional marriages, or worse, you get a divorce, you go through all that heartbreak and pain for the kids and for the family. It's so painful. And then Mr. Man number 2 is identical. He may look different, he may smell different, he may, be different, work differently, but in here, it's the same. If you don't do the work on yourself, you will never truly find healthy, good, amazing love. You'll find love. You'll find love, but it will be toxic, it will be dysfunctional, and it will deplete you even more. Deplete you even more. I remember when I started dating after my divorce, this one man that I thought I was madly just, again, now that I look back, and it was 5 years ago, this doesn't happen overnight. Hello! I got my girlfriend Carolina on Instagram. I'm doing Instagram, Carolina, and StreamYard. Like, talk about multitasking. No, you know me, I go all the way. I don't do a little, I do overkill. That's me. That's how I work. You're never gonna get this from me. You're always gonna get 100,000%. That's what I do. When I started dating right after my divorce, and I met this man that, of course, I thought was God, and I thought was the most sexy, amazing man. And it was, like I told you, he was giving me the, I was like, oh, let me find the drop, right? Oh, he gave me a drop of love. Oh, and I went for it. The bait and switch was disgusting. Now, I had fun with him. I'm not saying I didn't have fun. I did. Listen, I'm a grown woman. I can do what I want. And that's the other thing that I tell the women I work with. Like, you're a grown woman. Like, you're not 20. You're a grown woman. You're making money. You're even if you're not working, it doesn't matter. You ran a household. You ran a home. You're taking care of kids. Like, you're evolving. So you want to date, but don't think that guy you're going to meet is the one. That's not how it works. When you start doing that, talk about lack. Wait, I got a few more yummy comments from my yummy. Oh, Terry in the house. Hello, girlfriend. Wait, I got to read these because my Facebook tribe, they're my people. When you add young kids, you're so used to being a mother and a wife. You forget what you like to do for so many years. Working on that now. Absolutely, Andrea from Montreal. Exactly. And look at the word she uses, working on it now. Like, part of the program, I tell my beautiful women that, took the plunge and to do this inaugural program that I've never done before. And I said, you got to work the program. Yeah, it's work because you've never done it before. Oh, honey, my current situation, but I see it now. The roles are different and he's confused. Good. We like him to be confused. Hello, gorgeous. Hi, Steph. So, this is not about him anymore. When you talk about how to fill your bucket, well, the first one is to say, I have a hashtag, guys, in my Facebook tribe, really everywhere, MMI, me, myself, and I, forever. Because a lot of women who have lack and who are needy, the way we start having needs, being needy is, let me latch onto you. for validation of me, for validation of my beauty, for validation of my intelligence, for my validation of success. Never works. Now, that's bad. So when you latch onto yourself and say, oh, I make money. Oh, I just ran 3 miles. Oh, I lost 10 pounds. Oh, I just got a new job, or I launched a business, or, I just put together a huge party, or whatever it is. And you start noticing all those accomplishments, because now you're focusing on MMI, me, myself, and I. So you stop looking at him and you stop looking at them, and you're not asking for their approval of you. MMI means what? What does MMI really mean? Let's see if any of my Facebook yumminess, my Facebook fearless women, or even here on Instagram. When I love you too, Carolina. Carolina and I, we have a thing. She's one of my guinea pigs in my first program that we're in the middle of doing it right now. I'm going to be doing my second one in October. I will definitely be inviting the first group to do a repeat if they want. But apart from that, I'm definitely doing another one in October. And it's going to be even better, because thanks to my guinea pigs, thanks to Carolina, me, myself, and I've even perfected my method further. It's an immersive. The transformation program that I teach is live training. I'm right there grabbing your jugular, because I want you to feel your life, because you are not feeling your life. You are just living it. I don't want you to live your life, because that means you're checked out. I want you to feel your life. The emotion of feeling, to me, is life. I want this to be like that. So going back to me, myself, and I. Yeah, you put ourselves first. Exactly. And the reason why this is so difficult for us to do, it's like I said, we've never done it. So what happens when we start doing the MMI and making decisions and living our life and acting and behaving with MMI as the mantra, you feel so guilty. Why do you think you feel guilty when you do MMI? When you're doing things for yourself and you feel really guilty. We just talked about it in the program this week about that, because we talked about worth. This week in the program, we covered worth. By the way, at the end, I'll pop onto my page and we'll go through it. At the end, I'll show you. Instagram, you won't be able to see it. I'm sorry. My IG people, if you want, join my tribe on Facebook, the Fearless Woman Tribe. This is so encouraging. Love that quote, not asking for their approval. So true. Yeah, of course you're not asking for their approval. By the way, wait till you get to a point when they decide to give you an opinion on something you're doing and you say to them, did I ask you? That's what I do now all the time. Especially with me launching my tribe this year and really pivoting my business. I've been a recruiter for 20 years and I'm like, I want to get out of that. Like I can't even, I'm so burnt out and I want to do this 24/7. So a woman the other day just said to me, you've been a recruiter for 20 years. Like, don't you think that's reckless what you're doing? Like starting something from scratch. Do you think you'll ever, how can you make money? There's no money in that. And I'm like, did I ask your permission? Like, why are you telling me this? I didn't ask your permission. The only thing you should be saying is, good luck. You're going to sit there and put doubt in me? When a person puts doubt in you, whose doubt is it? When a person puts doubt in you, who has the lack? Who has the lack? They do. They have the fear. They're just projecting. So, none of that nonsense. So I want to ask you the question again. When you feel badly or guilty, when you do the concept of MMI, which is the Fearless Woman mantra, it's the true hashtag MMI, and it's capital MMI. It's not little lowercase. MMI, me, myself, and I, you get a capital M, capital M, capital I. Why do you guys think you feel guilty? Why do you feel guilty doing MMI? Why do you feel guilty when you're doing something nice for yourself and maybe it means you're doing something not nice to someone else? Like yesterday in the program, I used the example of, a friend wanted me to take them to the airport and it just wasn't convenient for me. This was many years ago, by the way, before Uber and all that. And I said no. And I remember when I said no, I felt so guilty saying no. So what do you think was happening to me when I was feeling so guilty saying no to taking them to the airport? So I'll just tell you, since I think there's a delay on, that's what happens. I'm going to just tell you, because what time is it? I don't even know what time it is. Okay, we're going with the flow. What happens is by the way, you're doing this. You're putting their feelings here. Let me get closer to the lights. You're putting their feelings here, and guess where your feelings are? Down here. So when you feel guilty about not doing something for someone, or, focusing on yourself over them, and you're feeling guilty, that's because you have a messed up limiting belief that's not true, that says, I don't matter, and they matter more than me. Yeah, that's not happening. We don't do that. A fearless woman does not do that. A fearless woman does not do that. A fearless woman always puts her feelings at the top of the list. MMI. And the more you practice that, the easier it becomes. And the more you start practicing on feeding and nourishing yourself, what happens is you're no longer needy. See, it's very normal to have needs, and you should have needs, but the only one that needs to know what those needs are you. It's not for you to tell somebody. Like, human beings should know. Now, if those needs aren't being met, you can communicate, which is what we do in our marriage, but you certainly don't do that when you just meet a guy in the first week. Don't sit there and say, I need to be loved, I need to be cherished. No. You just met the guy. You're at the A in the alphabet. And that's the problem with women. Like, we're so dehydrated for love that when we meet a guy and he's a good guy, I'm not saying he's not, I'm sure he's an amazing guy, we're ready at Z. No, you have to go through all the letters. You have to go through all the letters, because if you're ready at Z, that means you're needy for love. And you will attract a man that will hurt you, even though if he's good, or you'll attract a man that's just, he's not on your wavelength, and you'll probably just repel him. I promise you, when you start meeting your own needs, hello, Lisa Gorgeous, when you start working consciously, effectively, and you work the program, which is basically latching onto your needs, and the most critical part is not validating your worth with others, with their approval, especially with a man, the type of people that you will attract in your life will be amazing. And most of you are already doing it, because most of you, at least in my tribe, have gone through a breakup. You're in that, you're very close to it, or you've been divorced, but you're still not coping. So the program, the program that I offer, I believe, is good for anyone. I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you're going through divorce or after divorce. It doesn't matter where you are in your life. What matters is that you want to change your life. What matters is that you're tired of the dysfunction. What matters, yes, thirsty, dehydrated. Yep, very thirsty for love. That's truly how I felt. I was very thirsty for love. And when you're thirsty for anything, you don't see it. Why am I thirsty? Because I needed it so badly. I was needy and I didn't have it. Now, honey, that is just not my case anymore. So, being needy is something that says we need to work on you. We need to work on you. And in my program, that's what I do. Like, and it's not easy. We have to basically face some triggers. The triggers that happen in your life are, based on emotional distress of issues that weren't resolved. And I believe that if you don't resolve those issues, you can't truly move on. I don't believe in cut and move on, not for a woman, maybe for a man. I can't speak for the man, but I believe for a woman, because we are emotional creatures, we have to acknowledge, affirm our own feelings. And we can do that for ourselves because we're grown women and we can absolutely handle it. Don't give me this crap that you can't. That's not acceptable, and that's not the right answer. If you say you can't, that's because you're afraid. And most of the time, the fear is just not real. It's not real. And in fact, just like I told my yummy women in the program yesterday, validate the fact that you face fear by going through divorce. I don't care if he left you or you left him, the guy broke up with you. I don't really care. Any woman that can experience that turbulence, to me, is a woman that's fearless. Because as a grown woman with kids, without kids, whatever it is, to go through that trauma, you're ready for anything. You are ready for everything. You think you might not be, and that's okay, but I'm telling you that you're ready. There's no question about it. So my number one advice, it's 35 minutes. I'm going to cut it. I was trying to keep it at 30 minutes, so not so bad. My biggest advice when it comes to being needy, to having needs, is to understand that the reason you're needy is because you're deficient. You're deficient in that vitamin. And to seek the fulfillment of that need because you're needy from a dysfunctional marriage or relationship doesn't work. And if you don't fix it on your own, with community, with friends, with your village, with our tribe, even here, this is great. This is part of the self. Somebody asked about the love. How do you fill your own bucket? The tribe is how you fill your own bucket. A need of a community is under society. It's a real need. So, but you got to fill it because you've been trying to get the love by being with a man that has a huge hole in his bucket. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm here to tell you that you're absolutely capable of fulfilling your own needs. I'm here to tell you that you're absolutely capable of latching onto yourself and making it. It may not be perfect. It may not be pretty, but the imperfections is what makes it perfect because you're doing it. You're doing it. And when you do it, it just feels good. And when it feels good, you feel good. And when you feel good, energy changes. Where focus goes, energy flows. So when you start feeling good, now more of that energy goes there. When you feel bad, it goes bad. So our goal here as a fearless woman is to not be needy anymore. Because that's, And the way you stop being needy is you focus on those needs on your own by latching onto you. And for a lot of women, this is very hard based on a lot of limiting beliefs that simply aren't true because you have proven to yourself that you can't. And I'm here to tell you that you've already done it. You're just not looking in the right place. In my program, I teach you how to do that. In my program, I explain why you have those limiting beliefs. In my program, I am passionate about expressing emotion. In my program, I will show you how you've done things that you can't even believe that you've done. You just don't know, and you're not seeing it because you've got these blind spots, because you're in a lot of pain and you've been brainwashed to think and be a certain way. So if you have proof that you can be brainwashed, then I'll brainwash you to be a fearless woman. How about that? Do you have a deal? I'll brainwash you. Latch on to me because I will take you into my nest, but you better believe I will kick you out. I will. I'll kick you out because I know you have beautiful wings and you can fly to wherever you want. Of that, I'm certain. I'm like you. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not an attorney. I'm none of that. I'm a woman just like you who had issues in my childhood, who then married a man that, clearly proved my beliefs right. And then I realized that's not who I am, and it's not. But the only way that worked is by me doing the really hard work. And I remember, deal. Okay, good. So, and then I remember I did it, and I promised myself that when I was like 1,000%, I was showing up here, which is why I showed up in January of 2020. I showed up, and I already have like 65,000 followers on TikTok. TikTok in the house. Who says TikTok is for kids? You know how many women married 25, 30, 35 years message me on TikTok? It's crazy. Excuse me. Okay, guys, thank you. You changed my life. I don't know who that is, but yay. Everyone's capable of doing it. Okay, so now we stop talking about needs versus neediness, and you're going to latch onto your self-worth. I just want to pop in quickly to my Fearless Woman Transformation Program so you can see the 6 modules. Guys on Instagram, I'm sorry you can't see it, but anyone here who wants to stay, and of course it's going to be recorded in the tribe, I'm going to pop on now and show you what my program is all about. So you can go, oh shoot, hold on a second. What did I do wrong? Wait, don't go anywhere. Wait, did I lose you guys? Wait. StreamYard. I just realized what I did that was wrong. I had to share screen. Share screen. Share screen. We're going to share this and say share. Let's see if I did it right. Yes, I did it right. I'm freaking learning. Okay, so there you see the StreamYard. Isn't that cool? So how do I go? Here it is. Okay, so you guys are seeing this, right? Do you see it? Did I do it right? Okay, wait. I'm going to remove this. Hold on. I'm going to do it again. You have to bear with me because stop sharing. Let's do it again. So I'm going to go share screen, screen sharing with 2 monitors. Okay, share screen. And then I'm going to go Chrome tab. That's what I want to do. Okay, I got it now. That's what I'm sharing with you guys. So you do see it, right? Okay, cool. Perfect. So let's go back there. So if you go to my website, fearlesswoman.co, which stands for Company Transformation Program, and scroll down here, we're going to start it in October. You can already join the waiting list right there. And basically, we cover, these are a bunch of, testimonials, etc. What we do, you're going to get 6 pre-recorded video modules and worksheets, and I'm adding. So my inaugural program, that was just 6, but I'll be adding more things in there, and you will always have access to this forever, just so you know. So you're going to get twice a week for 6 weeks for a minimum of 2 hours. It may go longer. It has gone longer with my inaugural group. I don't want to promise more. I will promise 2 hours twice a week for sure. This is a live, immersive detox, detangling, sharing, empowerment, inspiration. It's a microverse. We've never experienced anything like it. It's a tremendous energy source that's happening. So I will commit to that. It could very well be longer. We have been going longer, but it's also maybe because, it's the first program, but I will commit to that. I flow with a group. You will have access to a private Facebook community, not the one we have right now, which is the open one, a private one where all the assignments, every module has assignments. I want you to share it. And this is more of an empowerment, transformation program that we do in this community. It's not like the tribe, which is more support and a big down pillow. The program it's real work. It's real work. It's brain surgery. I am giving you I mentioned to you, I'm a recruiter, my firm Wall Street Personnel, 20 years. I created a huge eCourse, Find a Job Like a Pro. That is yours on the house. I give you a code. You can sign up for it for anyone who's needing to look for a job. Here's a video that I talk about about the information. And then here's my background, my story. You can read up about this whenever you want, some more testimonials. So here's what we cover. Module 1, we talk about needy. You got just this one that we talked about right now, emotional needs versus being needy. I gave you the tip of the iceberg. We go really deep. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We talk about the perfect love affair, being a grown-up, anchors, facts versus fictions. Module 1 actually is so intense. Module 2, which is, and by the way, we spend a whole week on this twice a week. Twice in 1 week, we will dive deep, Q&A, discussion. It's an immersive situation. The following week, we talk about fear, the difference between being alone and being lonely, sense of urgency, the fact that you have a limiting belief that you can't make it by yourself, that you're incomplete without a man. What a bunch of BS is that? He doesn't like me, giving him all this power. By the way, the first 2 weeks, you don't like my program, you just send me an email, Revy, not for me, I give you a full refund. You get 2 full weeks of live coaching and live immersion with me, guys. 2 full weeks. So, I back up my program. And you can, I think in a couple of weeks, maybe on the last week or a bonus week that we do with my OGs over there in the program, maybe we'll do a live together so you can hear about their transformation. It's intense. So just so you know, after the first 2 weeks, you tell me, Revy, not for me, full refund. Trust me, I'm not, thank God, needy for money, but I respect and value money. In fact, one of the modules we talk about money. This is an investment. This is not buying a pair of shoes, which is a cost. This is an investment into your emotional health. People spend money on getting their hair done. People spend money on going to the doctor, taking care of their body. Well, you have to take care of your heart. This is what this is. Module 3, by the way, just pop up at the top, fearlesswoman.co transformation program. We might change it to the program, but you'll still find it here on my website. We're doing this right now, knowing your worth, love languages, boundaries, who's really in charge. I talk about like and love and your intuition, the EQ. No one cares about emotional intelligence. I only care about emotional intelligence. Who doesn't care about emotional intelligence? And then we talk about you being selfish. That's right. MMI. It's uncomfortable for you because you've never done it. Wait till you get to a point that when you don't do at least one nice thing for yourself in the day, you're gonna go to bed and say, oh my God, I didn't do something just for myself today. That's where I'm at. Before, I would feel so badly thinking about myself, buying myself anything, spending money on myself. Everyone deserved it, not me, even though I made all the money. It was funny. I look at it now and I laugh. I think it's funny. Then we talk about being a fearless woman, mind, body, and soul, self-expression, self-exploration. This is where the intimacy comes with yourself. See, you think you need to be intimate with a man. I'm here to give you a revelation. The intimacy comes with you. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is not about a man. I mean, there is family and intimacy. Of course, you right away assume it's with a man, but I'm here to enlighten you and say, no, actually, it's with yourself. If you're going to rely on your husband to be happy, if you're going to rely on your husband to make you happy, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. By the way, that was my story until, I left him and figured all this out. They should be teaching this in high school. Forget college. Fulfilling your own needs. We talked about that, right? So we talk about ways of doing it and how to do it. Just being aware of it. The fact that you put yourself first is so uncomfortable, but that is why you must do it. Being the queen and the 3 questions that you absolutely live by. Then the last 2 weeks, we talk about money. I was unsure about having that. I'm going to see how it goes, when we do it in the group, in the program. But I felt it was important. I find that a lot of women fear money. And when you fear money, that means what? It means you're going to repel it. So we talk about money. I'm certainly not, a big investment person, but I graduated in finance. I worked for an investment firm. I have real estate that I own. I have money in the market, started my own business and help people find a job. So, we talk about really the most important part, which is the relationship with money. See, people think money is yuck, or they think money is so difficult. Having a relationship with money is how you get money. You're actually being intimate with money. I tell my boys all the time, like now they work for themselves. My sons have dropped out of high school and college respectively. My son stopped high school after 10th grade. My other son was homeschooled from 10th grade and went to college and dropped out within the first 2 months. They both make a very healthy 6-figure business online. And I always teach them, respect money and it will respect you back. If you don't respect money, it will not respect you either. And they get that. That's a very important concept. And the best for last, like I force you to go through all this stuff, right? Like my peoples are saying, Revi, like when are we gonna start talking about sex and then a guy and all that? No, like I was only gonna do it. I was gonna make my program just about the guy. And then I'm like, how can I make it about the guy if we don't work on worth? If we don't work on our needs, if we don't address our fears, our limiting beliefs, if we don't tap into our worth, fulfill our own needs, like recognize how to protect it with boundaries, how to own the fact that we're a fearless woman, putting ourselves first, not accepting bad behavior. We got to do all that. And money. How many women say, oh, I should, I'm going to meet a man that's rich and will take care of me. That's lack. By the way, I bet if you made your own money, and I'm not talking about $1 million a year. How about just $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, maybe with alimony, maybe you sell your big house, you move into a smaller house. Money is not about the millions. Money's about keeping in budget, paying your bills, having a little extra to go out with your kids, the movie, sushi, whatever. And the minute you're comfortable with money, I bet you'll meet a man who has a lot of money. I knew this one woman, she's like, he needs to be a multimillionaire and he has to share that money with me. I'm like, hell no, I wouldn't. What? I make millions and I meet a man who doesn't have money and I have to share my money with him? No. See, you guys are like, what is this chick talking about? This is what I'm talking about. And the ironies of ironies, when I had that mindset, I met this one man that owned half of New Jersey. I met another man that had millions and millions of dollars. I still wasn't interested in him, and that's a different story. But the point is, when you have lack, you're going to repel. When you don't have lack and you start self-fulfilling, it will come to you because now you're not pushing it out. You're dialing up to your channel of 100. So here's the best part, module 6. I bet my peoples cannot wait to get there. We talk about being authentic. I talk about a blended family. This is important. I don't believe in a blended family. That doesn't mean it's not going to work for you, but we'll talk about it. Knowing your worth, lack versus abundance, guys. Vetting. As a recruiter, one thing I'm damn good at is vetting. If you're not vetting the guy you're with, you're lack. If he just looks good and you just go out with him, are you crazy? I was coaching one of the women and she met this man and I said, okay, he said he just sold the house. I'm like, do you have a realtor friend that has access to the MLS that we can confirm he has that house and he sold it? She said, yes. I'm like, stat, you take care of that. And I'm like, okay, as a recruiter, I have a high level access to LinkedIn. Where did he say he worked? He worked here. He went to school there. I'm like, got it. And I vetted him on LinkedIn. What, just because a guy tells you what he does, you're going to believe him? Are you crazy? That's like, no. A fearless woman does not do that. A fearless woman does not do that. A fearless woman will listen to you, but she'll always do her homework because she's not needy and she's not desperate. And she has standards. I'm not talking ridiculous standards of a yacht and a mansion, in south of France. I'm talking, has money, is a good person, has no record, takes good care of his kids. At one moment, she was upset that her boyfriend was putting the kids before her. I'm like, if he didn't put his kids before you, I would not like him. And if you expect him to put his kids before you, then I don't understand you as a mother. We as mothers should know better. I'm sorry. Yeah, of course, if he's 90% with the kids and 10% with you, then there's a problem. But you can't, if you're getting jealous of the kids, who has the lack? So dating tips, we have I will talk about sex, intimacy, orgasm, and beyond. Because this is real. When you're really, truly authentic to who you really are and you're real, you cannot imagine how your sex life is unbelievable. And I know for many married women, our sex life was deplorable. I know mine was. I dreaded it. I dreaded it. I would count the days in between. Awful. It's not happening anymore. And we always focus on the why and not on the guy. So, I haven't even taught these other 3 modules. We haven't even done the You're a Fearless Woman, Money, and Finding a Great Guy. That is going to come up. So let me do stop, remove. That was kind of cool. So we will be doing that over the next few weeks. This week we're doing worth. And it's been an eye-opener for me. I have to say that I miss I miss them, and I know they miss we've got a cute little group going on, and we've definitely developed a very, very close bond because the microverse that's created in the program, I call it a microverse because it's not a universe, it's a microverse. It's so safe and you feel such a sense of belonging, and that's how this is. See, you can have intimacy from girlfriends, you can have intimacy from community, you can just have intimacy from talking to women who, like me, we're just like you. Okay, so maybe yours was purple and mine was gray. Okay, maybe yours was in Canada and mine was, in Hong Kong, whatever. It's all the same. It's all the same. So if anyone is interested in the program, send me a message on Messenger, or you can contact me on Instagram. I check everything. I am neurotic about that. And I also put a post in Facebook today. I did a really intense article. You should read it. It was a good one. It took me a good hour to write it. I have these thoughts, they don't come out of me. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop coming out of my head. It's unbelievable. It's pretty intense. It's like I was telling the women in my program that it's being pushed. It's like I have an energy that's pushing me to do it. You know, what I don't understand it, but I'm paying attention to it because I follow my gut. I'm very, very, very intuitive to people's feelings and emotions. That is my gift. Life-changing, amazing program. Thank you, my love. The program's amazing. So good. You see my people. We can't wait. Like, I miss them. Like, they're already going through withdrawals. One of them said, Revi, we're ending in 3.5 weeks. What's going to happen? I'm like, we're still in module 3. We haven't even done 4, 5, and 6. It's beautiful to see. I would love to be able to do the program to 100 women, 1,000 women. I think Zoom can hold that. You know, we might have different levels. I'll be more clear. I'll probably do the program again in October. And in 2021, I might have different tiers to really make it accessible to everyone on different tiers, because obviously there's different financial you know, elements to each of the programs, but everyone needs to experience the program. So we'll either make it super big that we could have up to 1,000 women at a very low cost to come in. You know, we might not have the same immersive experience as we're having now with the 7, 8 women. And then for a higher tier, you know, it'll be much more intimate. I can maybe keep it just to 10 women. And it's very intense when you're in that intimate. But we're women that will be connected forever. It's that important, guys. This is, as my son said to me, I told him, I'm like, I was telling Michael at dinner, my older boy, one of these days, you guys will meet him. And I was telling him, I'm like, imagine in person, but in Zoom, we're feeling energy. That's how important energy is. And they're feeling it. It's not so bad. The first week was very intense for them. I don't think they were realizing what was going to happen. Honestly, I didn't even know how I would deliver the program because I've never done it. It's just what I did. And I'm so clear. I'm clear. I'm very clear. And being that clear, you know what it is, guys? It's freedom. It's total freedom. It's detachment on any physical and even emotional level. Truly, it's amazing where I'm at. But I've worked I've worked the program. So, you know, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. Okay, I like to talk. Zoom support group tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to work really hard in the Zoom support group to keep my mouth shut, which is really hard for me to do because I love to talk. I usually only get involved when you self-sabotage, when you start saying, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, and an idiot. Why did I do that? I'm like, no, you're not allowed to do that. And I make you very aware of that. But the Zoom support group, I've actually opened up a bunch of new slots. So on that link, fearlesswoman.co/Zoom, we'll have all the new times that I put in there. And now I'm making it 90 minutes. It's $5. It's for you to express and share. And I'm more just facilitated, make sure that everyone ideally gets a chance to talk. All right, guys. So I'll see you in Zoom tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. And my people in the program, I'm seeing you guys tomorrow too. I don't know what time I'm going to do it in October. I'm thinking it's going to be the evening. I'm thinking 7 p.m. Eastern is where I'm leaning to, or the weekend. I might just do it on the weekend. So, you know, I'll keep you guys posted on that. All right. Remember, ladies, you are a fearless woman and you're worth it. Ciao, guys.